or to the cloud. Okay, I'm so proud of myself for doing that. Welcome everybody. We're going to have I see you waving your hand, Rich. A um, a jam-packed session here, but we want to keep the nice, relaxed flow as far as I'm concerned. Today is two things. Two, one, two. First one, we're going to talk about how do you listen to audio books. Um, Wait a minute. Share my screen. Share screen, Phil. Okay. Share screen. Well, nothing's up there. There it is. I was going to share my screen with you. Anyway, I'm not going to share my screen with you. The heck with it. What it was simply our LibriVox going to show all the new books that are popping up every day. We get new. Hi, Mary. Melody. Yes. Oh, hi, Melody. Melody is joining us from the LibriVox app known as LibriVox app. Let me see if there's anybody else waiting. We're going to talk about that right now. We're going to start off with Michelle. Michelle is with us. There you are, darling. Michelle listens to LibriVox books in a certain way. I believe she uses her iPhone, which she'll tell us all about it. And other people, everybody uses a different method, but one of the most popular is the app. But before we get to the app, let's watch Michelle. Michelle, would you share with us how you listen to LibriVox audiobooks?
I would love to do that. I know there's a lot of different ways, like some people download from Internet Archive, and some people use iTunes, and some people use the LibriVox app, and some people use all kinds of other apps. I've always, until recently, I've always used the iTunes podcast app, but I've discovered the LibriVox Audiobooks app, and I love it. It's wonderful. And so I'm going to just walk you through. I've managed to figure out how to get my iPhone screen onto this project, and I'm going to show y'all how to do that. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to start out by sharing my screen, and hopefully y'all will be able to see my screen. Okay.
While you're doing that, does anyone know how many people actually listen to LibriVox books every month or download them? I mean, is it 1,000, 10,000? Okay. I don't know.
Not a clue.
Okay.
Not a clue. Okay.
So
go ahead, Michelle.
I just want to hopefully I'll get to do this in a orderly manner, but I want to start out by saying, like, if you go to the LibriVox homepage, for example, which is where I had it here just a minute ago. If you go to the LibriVox homepage, for example, that's where I had it there a minute ago. Let me go back. Come on, go to the homepage. Oh yeah, okay. So if you go to the LibriVox homepage, every day I go there and I look, because underneath there's the 10 most recent books that have been cataloged, okay? And some of them need covers, and I design covers, so I like to look for covers. And I like to, see what needs covers. So let's click, if I click, say, on this Turkish embassy, for example, like that. Don't know anything about it, but I read it and I say, oh, wow, I think I'd like to listen to that book. I hit my iTunes. Some people do RSS. I hit my iTunes like that. It takes me to my iTunes page, and it puts this book into the podcast app on my phone. It puts it into the podcast, to the iTunes app on my computer, like right here. You see there, it says Turkish Embassy right there. It's already there. And it hasn't transferred the book to iTunes. It's just transferred a little link to it, okay? As soon as I see it on my iTunes on my computer, I can open my iPhone and it's on my podcast app. That's one way that can be done.
Podcast?
Yes, what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna share my phone with you. I'm screen sharing, but you cannot share your phone and your computer at the same time. I have to stop sharing my computer screen and I have to start sharing my phone screen. Oh God, now it's, okay. I don't want to be doing that. Hold on a second. I don't want to do that. I want to share my iPhone like this. I've just learned how to do this. Okay. I had to teach myself how to do this yesterday, believe it or not. It's not all that. It's called screen mirroring. And I had to learn how to do this.
Just joined us.
Look, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah,
Now I see it. Very good.
Okay.
Cool.
And there is my home screen of my phone. And I think you have somebody else to admit, Bill.
I'm trying to hope. Okay, I'm looking. I don't see anybody.
Okay, so.
Waiting room. Yeah, Bill Jones. Okay.
Try to go quick here. If you look at the bottom of my phone, can y'all see my phone screen?
Yes.
Yeah. And behind that, I guess you see what? What do you see behind it? A black screen? Black screen. Okay. So if you look at my icons on my iPhone, down at the bottom, you'll see the LibriVox app. But first you see that podcast. Oh, shoot. What did it do? It quit. Crap. It left me. I hate this. It does that. I don't want to pause this. Oh, Lord. Why does it do that? I'm sorry. It did that one time.
Because we're live on the air, that's why.
Okay, I don't want to pause.
Looks like your bars were low.
No, my bars aren't low. Hold on. Just hold on a minute. Resume share. Stop share. I'm going to start again. Dang phone thing. It is kind of a little bit iffy sometimes how this works. There, now I'm going to share it. Come on, phone.
Come on, phone. Yeah, for those just joining us, well, we're talking about how we listen to books, how different people do it, because there's various ways.
Okay, it's waiting for it to show up here.
Who
Just
is
a moment.
not with us? I see Bill Jones is here. Rich Brown. Bill Jones gets extra points for wearing a hat.
It's not mirroring for some reason. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm afraid of that. Do it again.
Hey, there's Frank.
Where?
Hey, Frank.
Stop sharing.
Hey, how you doing?
Hooray, I'll come rescue you.
Sharing.
I'd wear a hat, but it doesn't fit over these headphones very good.
Screen mirroring. Go Zoom. Okay, it's not doing it.
It's not doing it. Well, maybe you could just tell us, pull your phone up and just try to tell us what you would do. We can imagine.
I've done this like 3 times just today. It's got to work.
I know the frustration, Michelle.
Why isn't it doing it? Anyway, so I have this LibriVox app on my phone that I absolutely adore. And I think we have the representative here today to show that. I had certain things I wanted to show, but it's not going to do it.
Well, you said you have 2. You have the app, but
I use the iTunes app, which is there on every project we have. There's a green button that says you can download, to the iTunes. And so I've used that for years.
So you download to your iTunes, you open up iTunes, and then you press.
I have the podcast app on my phone.
So you have another app.
As soon as you download to iTunes.
Oh, there's Jen. Hey.
Hello, just got the baby down for his nap.
There you go. I've got it now. I've got it. There I am. You see my phone now?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So down at the bottom, you see a purple button with a little, whatever you call it, through 2 little circles. If you click on that, it takes you to the iTunes app. Okay, down at the bottom, it goes to you have your library. If you click on your library, up at the top, it says shows. If you click on shows, there are my shows that I've recently downloaded. Okay. all these shows. These shows are actually LibriVox books. These are all LibriVox books that I've downloaded, like I've got hundreds of them, okay? But you notice the sad, bad part about it is none of our covers show up. You don't ever get any of our LibriVox covers on these things. Very, very sad.
Well, that is sad.
It's very, very sad. Now, I can listen to these books, continually listening to the preface, for example. And I just
I think I'm going to hear Kevin here.
Can y'all hear this?
No.
I can't hear it. Should be able to hear it. Anyway, I just want to tell you about this. I don't know why y'all can't hear it. I can't hear it either. But if you look down here, you can see all of the sections, section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 of this book, Sasha. Okay. And if you'll notice, and it's very important, you can see the section number 01, 02, 03, 04,
Yes,
05.
yes.
Now, the podcast app and the LibriVox app, they strip out the section number. The only way you can see the section number here is if you put it in your title. When you make up your magic window, you have to put 02- and you have to put it in the title. It will not show it unless you put it in there.
So you actually put these into the title?
You put
titles?
it in the title, correct. You have to put it in the title.
So that's why it's showing as the section number. Okay.
That's why. Now, there's good things about this. You can do the sleep timer, and it will tell you that you can end it when the current episode ends, or you can tell it to end it in 5 minutes. You know, like if you're cooking pasta for 10 minutes, you can press 10 minutes and use it as your little timer. Okay, like that. What else can you do?
Hello.
You can advance 15 minutes, 15 seconds. You can go back 15 seconds.
Speed up and slow down, maybe?
Okay, honey.
You can speed it up and slow it down like this. Do you see where it says 1x there?
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah. Okay, I wish that, I don't know why this won't play because it was playing all morning. But if you got a reader that you think is just a little too slow, you go, oh, I want to fall asleep. You can press 1.5 times speed, double speed, half time speed. It's not really very useful, I don't think, because you don't really want to double anybody's speed. You just want to nudge it up 3%, 5%.
Hey,
So
Michelle, press the play button there. If it were playing, it would show the pause button.
It's playing.
Press the play button.
That's the play button.
Michelle, okay, I'm confused.
Okay.
You use, I see that Melody says on Windows.
I'm not going to use this anymore. I'm going to go to Melody's thing.
It's called iTunes, and on Apple devices, it's called Podcasts. I'm not sure.
It's called iTunes. The podcast app is the app for playing iTunes music and audiobooks. It's the name of their app is Podcast, and it's that purple thing down there.
It's an Apple
Yes.
app called Podcasts, and that's how you would play audiobooks.
Right. And if you wanted to go get that app, you see that App Store thing up here?
Yeah. Okay.
You click on the App Store, all you do is do a search for podcast. And you just click on that and it'll tell you, there's your podcast app. If you didn't already have it on your phone, it would say get it, but I already have it. So it says open. There's all kinds of podcast apps, they're galore. But the podcast app, this one in particular, is the one that iTunes owns.
And it's called Apple Podcast. Okay.
It's called Podcast. Now, the really, really deluxe and much better way to look at them, which I've started using, recently, is on the lower left corner. You see the little colored book with the headset. That is called LibriVox Audiobooks. It is not affiliated with LibriVox exactly, but it uses the same name. There are two of them. You see there's a pink one above and a white one below. You see the two different colors? You see
No.
the,
Yeah.
okay. At the bottom is a white button and above it is the pink button.
Oh, I see the pink background. Okay,
The
yes.
pink background, don't bother with. You don't want to use that because it's the free version. And the free version has advertisements, even speaking advertisements
Ooh.
between your chapters, and it's very distracting. And I'm going to get rid of that. But the paid one is still really inexpensive. It's like $3 a year or $3 altogether. I don't know. So anyway, we're going to click on that. And this is like the deluxe way to listen to audiobooks. At the bottom, you see favorites, catalog, lists, search, settings. I'm going to click on catalog. I'm going to hit up at the top right. You see where it says new. You click new, and it has everything that just was on the LibriVox homepage, the latest, newest 10 things. You
Oh,
see the
you're going
Turkish
to the homepage.
embassy. It doesn't take you to the homepage.
Oh, it takes you to the catalog.
It takes you to I don't know how they do this. I hope she explains it to us, but everything new that appears on LibriVox is going to appear right here. Okay. So just everything that you do. And the beauty of it is that I love it. You see, it says the Turkish Embassy read by LibriVox volunteers, Manchester Poetry read by Phil Benson. It tells you who reads it. Isn't that awesome?
Yes, that is
It tells
nice.
you who the reader is. Henry
it's
James
got-
at Work by David Wales.
And cover art too.
Queen, and it shows all of our cover art, like look, Queen Zixie,
Oh,
read by Phil Chenevert. Now, if I press that,
Oh, look, I got some stars. What does that mean?
I'm gonna get to his book.
Those are your ratings.
It's gonna
Oh,
get a
wow.
description. It's
I'm
gonna have,
excited.
and I'm gonna fuss at you, Phil. I chose this on purpose. Notice it doesn't show your section numbers because you didn't put it in the title bar.
Oh, it doesn't
when-
show the section number. You're correct. It does
in your
not
magic window, you didn't put that. So when you end your chapter,
Oh,
end of
Lordy.
section 1 or end of section 6, and the person comes looking for section 7, they will not see a reference.
Ooh.
You would have
Okay.
to end your section, end of section 1, the weaving of the magic cloak, so that they will know when they come back here that, oh, I've already
But
listened.
doesn't it mark where you stopped watching or listening, so you don't have to know which chapter
Yes,
number it is?
it's sometimes it can do that, but if you want a reference to it, it's so easy to put it. It's just no sense not to put it there, in my estimation.
In the title. Okay.
In the
Movie.
title bar, and it
We
doesn't
know,
cost
yeah.
anything, and it's just really easy to do. There's several ways to do that. Okay, so that's our catalog, and you can also do a search and get a book by title, by author, any way you want it. Okay, you can go back to the catalog, and let's say we're looking at Queen Zixie. Let me tell you, look it up here in the upper right corner. You see that bunny rabbit?
Yes.
Okay, that bunny rabbit, if you click on it, that is a timer, and it's not 1.5 to halftime. It is infinitely variable. So you can just
Oh.
barely go down a little bit or barely go up a little bit. I don't know why
Okay.
y'all can't hear this because I intended to be able to demonstrate that.
You have to share your sound in order for us to hear it. It's an extra permission setting. So,
Oh, you're
Yes.
absolutely right. Can I go back and do that, please?
I mean, you could, but I think we can understand the idea of how it would work. It's okay.
Yeah.
If you hit reset, it just takes it back to the middle. Down here, you
No.
have a little clock. You see to the right of your slide bar, you have a clock. You hit the clock, and you can say you want to listen for an hour or 2, or a minute or 2, or many, and then you can hit the done bar, and it's set. So I really, really love this part of it.
Wow.
You can go to your favorites. This is like all my favorites. This is all the stuff I have recorded. Okay. I like to keep track of my own stuff. And then you see, I don't know where those stars really come from. So I'm going to click because I want to
I
see
don't know
if
about
anybody,
them. Okay.
I want to see if anybody gave me any reviews.
Oh, it's a review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
No reviews on my book. I don't know who gave me stars.
Well, they just somebody either liked it apparently.
Somebody liked it. So there's stars on that one. Let's see if I got any reviews. Look, I got reviews on this book, on my
The
book.
stars are based on user reviews and ratings. You can have a
Yep.
rating with I'm reading comments from
Yeah.
obviously who is
You
it?
can
Melody.
you can leave a review if you want to. You can say if you want to leave a review, you want to leave some stars, you can do that.
Okay.
I want to leave a review on this book. I can make stars like that.
Vignettes.
I can type. I can send it. Oops, I can type stuff in. It's really, 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 really cool. And I
Okay.
love this. And I'm not even going to use the podcast app anymore, to tell you the truth. For LibriVox audiobooks, I will be using it for other things. But now that I've really discovered this one, it's just so exciting. I keep my phone with me at all times, and I listen to audiobooks all the time. It can make lists, and I'm hoping that this our guest can teach me how to add a list. Okay, like I put Michelle's favorites, but there's nothing in it because I don't know how to put anything in it. Okay, because you can make lists and you can share, you can make them public so people can say, oh, I wonder what Michelle likes to read, and all my favorites will be in there.
Okay.
And then about the settings, I'm gonna let her tell us all about the settings. Anyway, this is an absolutely wonderful, wonderful, wonderful app. I used to try to use the free one. This one here, this one free. I want to delete this app because I don't need it anymore. I'm just gonna keep the paid version. It's well worth it. Okay, so that's what I had to share.
Well, thank you very much, Michelle. That is an interesting, obviously you have moved from one way to another way.
Right.
And you made your point about the section numbers in the title. We, some people say call it, well, whatever, we'll talk about that more. Now, there are many other ways, I'm sure, but we're going to talk with Melody about the app, I believe. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, Melody?
Yeah, sure. Hi, my name is Melody. I'm based out in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I've been working with the LibriVox project for a couple of months, just trying to help out.
Really? Okay. Well, cool.
So how did it come about? Who owns it? I mean, it's not owned by LibriVox.
Yeah. It's owned by a couple. They're the designers of the app. It's a husband and wife, and the husband originally designed it because he was trying to learn how to code. And so he thought, what a fun way to teach myself how to code. I will figure out how to code an app that plays some of my favorite audiobooks. And then it became this giant thing that now like thousands of people listen to. So it started from a very small place.
Okay. But I asked before, I'll ask again. You mean about the numbers? Do you know how many people have actually downloaded the app or use it?
Yeah, the numbers are pretty high. I have access to some of the analytics. You can actually see the number of users. I have them both bookmarked here. I know that we have more people on Androids than on iPhones. We have about, what is this? Like 18,000 ratings on the Apple Store and then 32,000 ratings on Android.
What does that ratings mean? What does ratings mean?
That's the number of people who've used it. So we've got 32,000 users on Android.
Okay. It's a lot of people. Okay, since you're fresh to it, but could you walk us through the free version and the extremely expensive paid version?
And how much is the paid version? I never figured out if it was $2.99 a year or $2.99 one time only.
I think it's one time only.
I mean, it's just ridiculous almost.
It's pretty cheap.
It's ridiculous. It's
Yeah,
just the best deal going.
Ads. That's an easy way to do it. The only reason the ads are there is to help pay for the servers and stuff that he uses to host the product. Just so that it pays for itself. He's not like making a giant profit off of this or anything. It's just to help pay for maintaining the app.
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously, yeah, the $3 is not a lot to ask. And so either ads or that way is sort of how they balance the checkbook on that.
Good, good. So you want to share anything about the app?
I'd be happy to share things. I guess, what would you like to know?
Okay, we're pretty much familiar these days how to download an app and put it on our Android. Okay. The workings of it. Like, for example, can you possibly share a screen with us on the actual app and how to make a list or
Sure.
search or how to make a review?
I have the Android app, and I know she was showing the iPhone app. They do have slightly different interfaces,
okay.
so the screens
all
look different, but as long as you're okay with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my phone join the Zoom call, so you're gonna have to let me in from the waiting room.
I'll let you in. Let you in.
Share screen.
I'll be happy to do that with you.
Okay, let me figure out.
Where is the waiting room?
Oh, I remember. Okay, click on this. I fortunately figuring out how to share phone screens is definitely a moment it takes a little bit to figure out, because I asked a lot of people about what their experience is like using the apps, and everyone took some time to be like, oh shoot, how do I share my screen? Okay, so I'm now in the waiting room.
Right in the waiting room. I got 3 people in there. My goodness. Admit, and I thought I'd let you in already, Tricia. And then Melody, there you are.
You did let Tricia in. There she is.
I must have kicked her out. Okay.
Oh no, I put in the chat that I had to do something on audio and I couldn't do it while you guys were talking. So that's
if you don't believe. Okay. Go ahead. Share away.
You haven't let me in yet.
I thought I just did, but I will. Melody. Okay, now I'll click admit.
All right. Let me see here.
You made a sale. Rich Brown says you just made a sale. Okay.
Share.
I'm gonna take off this hat.
All right.
There you go. You got your content.
I put all of my audiobook players over here, but you can see the little pink icon. So this is the free one here. So you can see that the Android screen looks a little different from the iPhone one. It just has to do with the operating systems and what Apple has very strict requirements about what its apps look like. And so there's certain design requirements that had to be met to make the iPhone app look a certain way. And there's less restrictions on the Android. And so one of the things I'm going to be working on is sort of making it cleaner and easier to find things on the Android version. But basically the way it works with the Android version is right now we have all of these sort of like shelves. And so if I searched, for example, children's stories, it'll pop up a new shelf. And so then I can kind of scroll through and see all of the different children's stories, or I can select more and I can like see them in greater detail. So that's
that would be based on what we put down for our keywords or for our genres.
So whatever you type into the search bar.
No, but I mean, LibriVox generally, we tag every one of our projects with we put it in a genre and we have keywords.
Yeah, so it's probably a keyword search. There are ways to search by title and author and by reader. They're a little bit harder to find on the Android version. So that's one of the things I'm going to be working on, is making it easier to find. So right now, a lot of people mostly find things through the search bar. You can technically press on this little triangle. Do you see the triangle next to the more? If you click on it, you can open it up and sort of see what the other sections are.
Hit catalog. Hit catalog.
You can hit catalog, and that's the entire catalog there. I don't know if it's listed in newest first. I think it's probably biased towards things I've already listened to. I've been listening to a lot of Sherlock Holmes lately.
But you could go by new, I bet
But you could go by new, and that would be the Turkish embassy letter. So that's the one that you were talking about
that's
earlier.
right.
So that's
it's
new.
The
same information, just presented in a different way. What else? They've got the lists that you saw before.
How do you make up your own list?
So you can press the plus button, And then you can type in the name of your list and you can add books to your list that way.
How do you add books though? I don't understand. how to
Okay,
add
so let's call this one my new list.
them. Okay.
I'm going to make it private because I'm going to delete this afterwards. So
Okay.
let's say that I see this book here, The Adventures of Danny Meadow Mouse. I can
Okay.
hold on it.
Hold
And so
on.
when I press my thumb on that title, there's a button that says add to.
Oh,
then
my new
my new
list.
list.
Okay. Okay. I get it.
Mhm.
All right. All right.
Or I do have a list called children's books because I like listening to children's fairy tales to fall asleep. So that's my personal collection there. Right now you can't see the reader directly on the Android app. And so that's another thing that we're working on is making the reader more easily available to people. You can search by reader, which is what I showed on the Facebook group the other day. So let's say I like this one and I like books by Leon Harvey. I can click read by Leon Harvey and there will be a new shelf that pops up and I can see all the books that Leon Harvey has narrated because I know a lot of people have a favorite reader. And so that way you can find everything that they've read.
Does that include group readings? Like, if he read in a group project, does it include those or just his solos?
I believe it includes his group readings as well.
Yeah, I think it does on my app. It includes all the group readings.
Okay.
Wherever they appear. It's the same sheet basically you get on LibriVox when you search reader.
When you search read, yeah, makes sense.
And so then when you're listening to one, it's the same, same features before. Like I said, the buttons look a little different. So we have the sleep timer. And so you can set how long you want to listen to it. I also like the at the end of chapter.
Oh yeah, that's good.
You want to wait until the story kind of closes out and then fall asleep. So that's a feature you can use. They have a playback speed timer. So you can go backwards 10 seconds, forward 30 seconds. I learned the other day,
You can change those too.
Yeah. So for example, if you hold it down, you can change, I want it to go forwards 30 seconds every time, or I want it to go backwards.
Oh, that's cool.
Some people, want to jump farther ahead or farther back. So that's a way that you can sort of change how fast it goes.
That's cool. That's really cool.
The speed. So you can figure out the same thing as before if you want it fast or slow. I tend to listen to things a little bit fast. You can, when you add the star, it gets added to your favorites list. And so I know people use a lot. You see the little star at the top corner here?
Oh yeah.
So when you press
it gets added to your favorites. That's good. Cool.
So when you go over to favorites on the home page, you can see all of your favorite books there. So like if I change this to favorites, I can now see that through the looking glasses on that list.
Oh, and if the star gets added to it?
Yeah, so anything that has a star adds it to the favorites list. What else is in here? Some people who use the Android version, you can see that you can get the free version on here. On the Android version, there is an option for paid books. Again, that's just another, it's not like, I don't think it necessarily matches the LibriVox spirit as much, but there is the option to just hide that feature. Again, it's just to try and help the app pay for itself.
So that's one thing I was going to ask you about is, can we buy through the LibriVox book, can we buy Audible books and buy other Amazon books and things that are audiobooks?
So I think if you have the Android version, you can. On the Apple version or the iPhone version, you can't because Apple collects like 30% of all sales. Oh. And so at that point, it's just not profitable.
Right. Okay.
So at least on the Android version, that's available. But I tend to just filter it so that I don't see the paid books. So that way I just see the LibriVox collection.
I mean, why? Who wants to buy a book when you have so many? You'll never get to read them all anyway.
I think it was based on a couple of people being like, I want to listen to Harry Potter. And so like, okay. We'll put a couple on there if you really want to listen to Harry Potter. So that's
how would you add books externally like that? I mean, suppose I have a book that I bought that's on my computer. Is there any way to listen to it through this LibriVox, this app?
Ooh.
Just a question.
Yeah, I'm not sure that there is. I can ask the developer. I think the answer is no.
Okay,
If
just
it's
a
an
question.
Audible, if it's from Amazon Audible, you can't. They keep theirs proprietary.
Ooh, good to know.
Well,
That
I
makes
have a
sense. Thank
few
you.
on my PC, my drive that I just they have mine.
One thing you can do on the podcast app, you know, the iTunes podcast app, is you can sign up for all kinds of other podcasts besides LibriVox Audiobooks.
Okay, so this
You
is
know, like all the
one app.
modern
I'm
news
gonna
shows and stuff like that.
I'm gonna stop here and review a bit. We've only really looked at this one app. I'm sure there are many other ways. I don't know of them. Quickly before we move on to our next section about BC, and does anybody have any more comments on or questions for our
Yeah, I would
guests?
like to know other ways that, you know, like maybe in a future Zoom session, somebody else could come up and show different ways that they listen. Like, how do you get a book off of Internet Archive? Where does it go? One thing I'll say about this is you don't download these books to your phone. They don't take up any memory, right, Melody? They it's not a download.
Oh,
It's a link.
Streaming.
It's
And
a stream. Okay.
And if you're in a Wi-Fi environment, you can just stream. If you have, I have unlimited streaming, but I mean, or you can download it if you're going to go out in the woods and you don't have Wi-Fi. But if you're at home, like I am, I have Wi-Fi everywhere. I just stream.
See. Okay.
I don't
Oh,
download it to
that's
my
gonna be-
computer or to my phone.
That was going to be the one small thing that I mentioned. It's a lesser used feature, but let's say, there's a feature on here. Do you see the little yellow bookmark?
Yes.
You can bookmark a favorite spot. So if you want to go back to that one, or if you wanted to, it'll save your place automatically, but you can, oops. I don't think I can quite click on the bookmark button from here, but you can add a bookmark. And so this would be like, especially, you know, if you've got like a book club or something and you want to make a note about this passage, you can write
that
a
is
little
awesome.
thing saying like, I
Yeah, that's great.
analyze this, and this, or I love the poetry in this part.
I love that. Love that.
So that's a lesser known feature on the app.
Is that also in the Apple version?
It's also in the Apple version. I believe it's in the bottom left corner. It also looks like a bookmark.
Well, okay. Thank you very much, Melody. Any more questions?
Awesome.
We really appreciate you coming and visiting us with us. I know is it still early over there in California?
All good, 10:30 or so.
Oh, it's not early. We're going to move on to our next section, and I think we kind of crammed too much into one section, but what the heck? It's always fun. Our next section, and you're welcome to stay, of course. We're talking about how do we get these audio books actually out there. You start from a book and we end up with an audiobook, and it's by book coordinators have a huge impact. Today, the questions are, wait a minute, I'll be with you in a minute. Okay, I'm reading off my screen, which you can't see. It says, we've asked, how do you choose a project? What was your first project? What are the joys of being a book coordinator? What is the most onerous part? I like that word. What would you recommend for improving the workflow or ease? And what would you say to people afraid of doing their first project? Okay, I'm not going to put that on the screen. I have several written things here that people have sent me. They may not be able to be here. One from Carolyn and one from, I think, Todd. Is Todd with us today?
Can you put the written things in the chat box?
Can I put the chat on?
Oh, no, like you just read out several questions. I was going to say, if you put them in the chat box, then we can all read through the questions.
Well, I could, that's cool. Watch this. Darn, you are so smart.
Can you put them in there before the meeting? So they're just in there?
What I did was this. I'm going to show you what I did because I'm proud of myself here. Shut up, Bill. I'm working on this. Share screen. Watch this. Well, I'm trying to share my screen, but
you can also copy and paste it if you have it in like a Word document.
I have opened some.
Oh, thank you, Todd.
Let me see it. Welcome.
For what?
I just put your list in chat.
Oh, thank you, Todd. I'm trying to, what I did was I made some notepad notes and I put all that stuff in there and I thought I could show my screen, but apparently I can't. I mean,
You can see the questions now. That's the important thing.
you see the questions. Now we're gonna we before we spend whiteboard, phone pad, LibriVox.
You want screen, the button you want to, yeah, there.
No, we don't want my smileys.
What a beautiful screen there.
Dancing penguin
Came
news.
up.
I think that's the wrong window.
Do I have the wrong window up?
Dancing penguin.
Wait a minute. What's going on here? Dancing. I don't want that one up.
Resident cowgirl who
No.
wrote this.
How do you choose a project? You can all see that screen?
No,
No.
Maybe
have
that's
it
out
in
of the
the
one
chat.
you're in.
Your screen sharing is paused.
So when you do share screen, you get to choose which one to share.
Choose what screen to share. But
I
you
am.
can open up the chat and see the questions in the chat box.
Oh, it's not a screen. It's a thing. Okay.
Program window.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You've got that up already. So we don't need that one. We don't need this one. Let's just share this screen. New share. Notepad. Can y'all see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
Todd's. I'm not going to read Todd's because Todd's is with us. Todd's is with us. And once again, I thought I had all this done, but as usual, I don't. Todd, I'm going to start with you, young man.
okay.
Okay. Would you start with answering those questions and just
I
tell
will
us
do
about
that.
being a BC? Go ahead.
I will do that. As
I'm gonna
Michelle was showing the LibriVox homepage, the latest book to be cataloged is The Canals of Mars.
Great
And
book.
I
Really?
decided that was offered mid-December last year, and it just finished this morning. And I decided to offer it because Trisha was offering 100 reasons why the Earth was flat, and I decided if we could have pseudoscience like that, we ought to go on to more of it. Percival Lowell was sure when he looked at Mars from his observatory that he could see all these canals. And so he published several books back in the early 1900s about all the canals and what they look like, and thus what Mars civilization must be. And so I just offered that book, and now 10 months later, it's now released out to the unsuspecting world. For those who are interested, we also published a book that came out shortly thereafter, which says Why Percival Lowell Was Wrong. It only took about a year for that book to come out. And I do this just because something catches my interest. The very first book that I offered was about Machu Picchu. I was reading a current book about it by Mark Adams called Turn Right at Machu Picchu. And I said, oh, well, gee, I want to find out more about the original founding of Machu Picchu. And so I found Hiram Bingham's National Geographic articles from fairly early 1900s. And that was the first book that I offered when I was deciding to BC. And then that led to Hiram Bingham also set up all the pilot training camps in World War I. And my mother was a pilot. So, okay, that might be interesting to read all those books too. And the next thing you know, we're down a chain that's about 15 books long. And I can't even remember how I got there. But it's anything I liked. I very seldom do I look at book suggestions because I'm
Hopefully
afraid I have
Todd's
too
still
many
talking.
weird and wonderful ideas of my own to even look at that. Someone wants to offer one that they suggest, be glad to help them do that. Another question, the joys of being a BC. Well, I think of a book and all you wonderful people read it to me. I mean, what could be better than that? The hardest part is PLing. I'm not very good at it. I have trouble listening to other people's voices, just like as I have trouble listening to my own. And fortunately, I'm able to find people that do wonderful jobs at being a DPL, and they can handle all of that interaction. And then I will do what I can. I also have a lot of hearing trouble, and they can also hear what they're listening to, which some days I cannot. Afraid of doing your first project. I mentioned that I'd be glad to help anybody who wanted to bring one of their suggestions to life. And the very first suggestion I would offer to anybody is ask for help. Even when you're running a project, you can ask for help. I was running this book on Machu Picchu, and readers were asking, how in the world do I pronounce this word here without any vowels in it? And I had no idea how to do this. another reader just jumped in with, "Oh, I speak fluent Quechua. I'll be glad to make you a voice glossary." And that kind of answered everyone's questions. There's a lot of people here that know what's going on, and they'd be glad to jump in and give you some advice. You may have to decide whether it's good or bad advice, but lots of people here know how to help.
Thank you.
I think that's kind of the
how about
10-cent
your
tour to
personal-
what I said.
Your personal philosophy is different. Maybe you have a unique twist when you BC.
Well, I guess the big thing I do is I've jumped into the play bandwagon, and I run mostly plays these days. But I talked a lot about editing stuff on that last week, so I won't take any more time on that. But you want to play? You want to play? About a quarter of them or so may have my name on there as the guy who's BCing them.
And we love that. You see, if you wouldn't carry that huge burden, we wouldn't get a lot of these plays out there, Todd. And other
That's
BCs.
particularly true for the one-act plays, where they're kind of starters. When somebody says they want to run a play, but they don't really want to get involved in a big one because maybe it's not as easy as it might look. And so we have a one-act play collection thing where people can jump in, just run one play, and I run all the stuff that has to be done for the MW, and setting that stuff up, talking to the database. Posting those things when things change from assigned to ready for PL to PL okay, and so like that. So just to help people out, and then I'll put the cast list together for people and find the catalog, everything.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to ask Trisha. She didn't volunteer at all. I'm just going to ask her. You BC, don't you?
Yeah, actually, I wrote down a bunch of stuff here. So.
Would you mind sharing with us? Oh, good.
I was prepared.
I didn't want to embarrass you.
No. Okay, so I have BC'd about 180 group projects, about 78 solos on top of that. My first BC project was in 2008, The Wars of the Jews by Josephus. And I go for the big guns for my first BC project.
Josephus. Sorry. I'll mute myself.
I don't know. I mean, that was 12 years ago. I don't know what was going on there. How I choose projects. A lot of the projects I choose, like my husband and I are downstairs watching some show, and it's about something, history or whatever, and they mention a book is read or a book was written by somebody, so I quick whip out my phone and try to find it. Is there any, public domain version of that? The Hatfields and McCoys story that was cataloged maybe a couple months ago, that was from a PBS show. Let's see, I
say that again. From a PDF,
public PBS.
I mean,
public
PBS. Okay, thank you.
Public television.
Yeah, I thought you meant a PDF. Right. Okay.
Oh, I'm talking fast because I got a lot here.
Share with us. You great wisdom. Go ahead.
Okay, I choose what I consider what deserves to be in the catalog. I mean, am I interested in it, or the author, or maybe a book suggestion? What people will record for. If it's so obscure that nobody's going to want to read for it, then I don't really put it up. If it's not good for a solo, if it's too long or something like that, I'll put it up as a group project. If it's something I'm willing to work with for a long time, because it can take 2-3 years sometimes to get a project done. Sometimes it's done on a whim, which I might regret later. The most onerous part of BCing, dealing with disappearing readers, or the keep promising readers. I'll get that to you. I've got it recorded. I just need to edit, that kind of stuff. And it goes on and on and on. Workflow suggestions, preparation, divide your sections, make Google documents if you want of those sections. Make it easy for your readers. Add word counts.
Yes, word count.
Yeah. Don't 100% rely on subscriptions or notifications of your projects.
Yes, that's weird.
Go through your projects regularly, or use the bookmarks feature, so you can have a list of your BC threads to see if there's any new posts in them. Assign
Phil, I wish you'd put bookmarks features down for another Zoom session to teach us how to use bookmarks.
That's what I use.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you mean explain it again? It's okay. Good. Thank you.
Assign readers, even if they don't give you their catalog name right away. That just makes it easier for you and for other potential readers to look at the magic window, see something is assigned, and then they, it's clear. Just use their forum name if you don't have a catalog name for them. An admin can go in pretty easily and fix that if they give you a catalog name later on.
That's a good point.
I want to repeat that.
I didn't know
Be
that.
sure everybody
Okay.
knows that it's even if they don't have a catalog name yet, they haven't even done their test, put them in and give them the claim. Just make a note.
But you have to change it to a catalog name before the project catalogs. They have to have a real name in it.
Just ping your MC or an admin of any sort, and they can quickly go in and add the catalog name. It's not hard. I mean, regular BC can't change it after it's entered, but it's not hard for an admin to do it. Next point, don't be afraid to orphan sections, but give them their due time. Actually, I did orphan a section like 4 days ahead of time, a couple days ago.
No,
But,
I've done that too. Yeah.
It's like, don't just give them a week and say, oh, you haven't done your test yet, so I'm going to clear you out, because, they're excited, they're new, they want to do it. They just haven't gotten their test done. I mean, they'll come back, give them time. Let's see. If you're not PL, determine and communicate who is to do the tech specs. Oh yeah.
Say that again.
Specs?
Check the bit rate and whether it's in stereo, mono, the volume. It's not in the standard PL. So basically, if you're not PLing it yourself, determine which role is going to check those tech specs, because by the time it goes to catalog, you think it's going to get cataloged right away. It's like, oh, the bit rate's wrong. So the MC throws it back saying, hey, section 4 has the wrong bit rate. We need that fixed up.
Isn't that what the DPL is supposed to do? Take it to your checker?
It's not in the standard PL. If you want,
well, that should be in there, don't you think?
No, because I mean, some people proof listen on a device that can't check tech specs or something.
Oh, okay.
So
it's true.
So basically,
somebody has to do it.
Exactly. So as the BC, determine who's going to do it.
That's right. That is a very good point. It's not standard. So go ahead. I'm fascinating. Fascinating.
Final workflow suggestion: choose appropriate proof listening level. Standard is basic. It's the most basic. If you want to have somebody proof listen and check the tech specs, select for your PL level special, and then you can write in, okay, I want standard plus the person to check the tech specs. If you want them to read along with the text and note any egregious errors, anything that doesn't or like a word change that changes the meaning. A lot of people think that's in the standard, but it's not. So choose special and then write, standard plus
significant discrepancies is what I put.
Major textural differences. Yeah. I mean, in the standard, I think it's was anything left out? Are there repeats? But of course, if you're not following along with the text, which you're not required to do in standard, you don't necessarily know if anything was omitted.
Right.
So.
That's right.
Okay, so that's my workflow suggestion.
Not yet. You're not finished yet. No. What about your personal?
I haven't gotten there yet. I have 2 more categories.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were wrapping up. Oh, good.
I wrote a whole thesis.
Okay.
What would I say to new BCs? Take your time. You don't have to BC a project if you don't feel ready.
Run away.
Shut up.
Keep in mind that some projects attract new readers. So you do have to know a bit about text settings, etc., to help those people along. If you choose something like Wars of the Jews to start with, chances are you're not going to get a whole bunch of brand new readers that don't know what they're doing. But some projects, children's books, attract a lot of new readers. So just keep that in mind. Finally, don't be too scared of it. Ask for help if you want it, if you need it. Okay, now my philosophy of BCing, my uniqueness. I put the claim date in the magic window notes and I orphan quickly and without dithering. I don't bother PMing people saying, hey, your section is due in 2 days. Are you working on it? In the instructions, it says you got 2 months. We can orphan it. We can open it up if you haven't done it in the 2 months. So I do it. Just bing, bang, done.
Talk about if the person did submit their file, you submitted back PL notes, they disappear and never repair it. Is it okay for the BC to try to make the repair and keep the file if possible?
Yeah. I mean, there's no sense wasting their work if the edits are easy and can be done. I mean, there's some edits that you can't do because it requires re-recording.
Right.
Yeah. But then, give them time to come back, obviously. I mean, if the project is about to be cataloged, that's the last thing to happen.
And you go look for them and yet they haven't been anywhere for the last 6 weeks on LibriVox. It's kind of, and they haven't answered your PM, then I edit. I go in and try to fix it and keep it.
Yeah, if it's ready to catalog, I think 6 weeks on a project that's going to take another year, then you can hold off a bit. Oh, I also do put a link directly to the proof listening notes post.
I saw you do that.
How do you do that?
I'll have to get back to you on that.
Say, what's the question?
I know how to do it, but it's tedious.
It's impossible.
How do you put a direct link to the PL notes in the magic window?
Oh yeah.
In the notes section. I always just notate what day I PL'd it so they can go at least find the day, but that's not nearly as sophisticated as click this link and get to the actual note. You're gonna put that, Phil, put that in the future session.
I am pretty sure. Well, no, I don't know. I can explain that another time if you like. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to know how to do that. It's very sophisticated. Very high tech.
I feel a video coming on. Yeah, that'd be
yeah. Screen share
go
coming
ahead.
on.
Okay. Let's see. If a reader puts, I'm just reading these because I wrote them a long time ago.
Yeah, please.
If a reader puts their test recording in my project thread or records a bit of a project as their test, I work with them. I don't make them jump through hoops like going to listeners and edited wanted and make them post it there. If they posted their test in my thread, I'll check it.
Yeah, but it doesn't really help other BCs go find out where that test is.
Yes, it
does. But
I mean, I always like to go click on that person's name, their posts, which takes me back to the 1 minute test or to some other thing that they've recorded. No. It's a little more tedious on a BC if they don't just go ahead and do their 1 minute test, for goodness sake.
I disagree. It takes you back to their posts, and their posts in the thread will show their 1 minute tests.
If they did a 1 minute test, Phil, but if they didn't, she's saying if they don't do a 1 minute test, she can just go ahead and okay it based on something they put in her project, which makes it harder for all the other BCs. We BCs rely on I rely on that 1 minute test. I just do.
Okay, good point.
I suppose what a BC could do in a case like that is, post over in listeners and editors wanted, test for newbie reader, as their name or whatever their name is, and, post something in there saying, hey, the test was done. I don't know.
Okay, so this is
I just want to say this. Let
me just say this one thing, please. Newbies come in and they have absolutely no expectations. If you tell them you have to jump through this hoop, that hoop, and that hoop, and this is what everybody does, they're like, okay. But if you make exceptions and then everything gets kind of splayed out in all different directions, it's not like you're doing them an imposition by saying, go over there and do your 1 minute test. It's not an imposition.
I've had newbies say, oh, this is so complicated. I've never been in a forum before. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Just walk me through this. So
You can
Yeah,
walk them through. I mean, they're going to
there's a
have to be in
balance.
forums anyway.
Well,
Okay.
it's legitimate.
let's remember something, that the 1-minute test is not a requirement.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm arguing that it should be, and I think it should be. It just makes
Okay,
everything so easy for
Okay.
everybody.
We understand. Okay, go ahead.
My last point was, well, which I actually did mention earlier, is I put in word counts as much as possible, even if it's an estimate. You know,
Right.
I mean, some texts you can't get a word count on, because it's, you know, put in as an image or something stupid like that. You know, sometimes I'll even use that horrible non-proofed OCR version at archive if I have to, you know, just to get some clue as to how long each section is, so that, you know, for readers, it makes it easier. So
as long as it's an approximation, that works.
Yeah, we talked about word counts. Now, I forgot what I was going to say. Does anyone feel that not having a word count is that terrible for a BC? Or
as a reader, I am hesitant about choosing or claiming a section that doesn't have a word count, because I don't know if it's going to be a 10-minute or a 45-minute section.
Okay, well,
You can also do page count sometimes. If you just have an Internet Archive, thing, you can say, well, this one's 9 pages and this one's 45 pages, and you can tell sort of what's a little bit and what's a lot.
Okay.
Although there's, I mean, some pages are 30 words, some are 300, some are 3,000.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
yeah.
But if you can't get a word count, if there's just no way to get a word count, you can do a page count.
Sure, do a page count. I've done that. 2 or 3 pages. What the heck? I forgot what you said already, Tricia, about the joy of BCing.
I'm not sure if I didn't answer that question.
Oh, maybe there is no joy. Oh, no, there's some joy there.
There's no joy. That's why I've done 180 of them. Yeah, I mean, having the works end up available, really. And, discovering new readers. It's like, oh man, this is a new reader and he's really good, that type of thing too. Yeah.
So just the joy of producing and contributing to the worldwide availability of audiobooks. Cool.
Absolutely. That is the driving force of my days. Trying to put stuff out there for people to listen to.
One thing Carolyn mentioned that was cool was that she loves that same thing, but it's even better if it's an obscure book that would never have been recorded except by LibriVox. I said, that's a cool point too. Okay, bye-bye, Melody. You're waving bye-bye? Okay, bye-bye. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Very informative.
And keep working on that app. It's good.
Thank you.
Now we have, like I said, I'm not going to read Carolyn's thing because we're almost at 1 o'clock, or we're at 1 o'clock. Any comments? I want to say that book coordinators, when I stopped and think about it, we've got hundreds and hundreds of projects going right now, and all the work, well, 99% of the work is done by the BC setting it up. It's a lot of work, and it's a work of love. And I don't think BC's get enough appreciation. I appreciate everybody. Now, is there anybody here that has not done, I know you haven't, Jen, not done a BC? Raise your hand. And do you, and any of you people intend, 4, we got 4 people, intend to become a book coordinator soon? No, 1. Yes, I know you do, Jen. And he's okay. Frank's on
I've done 1 so far.
Okay. Okay. Well, think about it. Like I say, it's challenging, but the rewards are amazing. And if we don't have book coordinators, there'll be absolutely no books coming out, coming out to shoot at the end there. It'll be 0. There's a lot more we could talk about. I didn't get to share mine because mine aren't nearly as interesting as the rest of you people, but
it's a big project. It's a big subject. Then we could come back to it.
Oh, gee.
Different people could give their impressions.
I just picked up. I'm just emceeing a book that's 2.4 million words. It's philosophy. I'm thinking, oh wow, this is good. I may die before we get this book finished.
Are you saying you're emceeing or BCing?
I'm emceeing. Oh, I'm not
Okay.
BCing. No, I would never have dreamed about doing this. But he wants to do it, and I'm off. It's collective. It's a group. So, thank y'all all for coming. Now there will be another meeting. There'll be a meeting next week. I want to announce that, but probably no more after that. No more Zoom meetings unless something.
Okay.
Huh?
What?
No, I'm not kidding. I don't know. Although I'm looking, well, about 17 people came to this. So that's our most. I'm thinking of not doing them anymore. If anybody wants to jump
Why?
in, I don't know. It's a lot of work.
But we could just schedule them once
You
in a
know
while.
how lazy I am.
Well, if you can open it up to other people to host using your
That's
platform,
it.
that would be
Guest
good.
host.
Well, Bill, let me point out that, I didn't ask anybody's permission to do this. Anybody can do a Zoom meeting. Now, I did get a free copy of the whatever the thing. I'm sure anybody can use it. You set up a recurring meeting and anybody can. But the point is, I am going to have one next week. I don't know what the topics are going to be. We may continue BCing. How about that? What y'all feel about that? Share more people to share.
Good.
And
Bill,
if
should
that'd be good.
we wear costumes?
not necessarily. You can wear
Well,
hats.
it's close
like I
it'll
said.
be close to Halloween.
No, I don't know. It will be the day of Halloween. No, that's 2 weeks from today.
Yeah.
But
But
be
it's
close.
close.
Sure, wear a costume. Anything scary or funny. I'm easy. So
I'll bring
I don't.
candy.
I don't.
I'll
Yeah,
come
bring
as a
some candy.
Sasquatch.
I don't mean to. I was thinking about it, and I said, well, we talk, and we have a few people here, but there's not a lot of people compared to LibriVox. Well, what do we have on there? Like a couple, 300-400 people who may be recording, and we got 17 people today, and y'all are great people. But so I'm thinking we'll have another one, and we can talk more about it. But maybe we won't be continuing this. Maybe once a month, once every quarter.
There's no promotion.
No.
Nobody knows
There's no
about it,
advertising
basically.
or
And
promoting it.
this is
I think
peripheral to
Kevin could do
LibriVox.
that.
once a month would be great. Help out
Michelle could do that.
people like me.
Maybe once a month. Okay, that's cool. It's just
Phil?
that I got to figure out the times and all that. But go ahead.
Phil, have you ever been put into a half Nelson?
Yes, I have. I had an older brother. What do you?
I think
What
it's
do
going
you?
to happen to you again.
Why are you? Don't threaten me like that.
I'm simply
shocked.
inquiring. Simply inquiring.
Okay.
I'm shocked at what you're saying, Phil.
Why, Michelle?
Because we're putting forth all this effort to learn how to do this, and we're just barely scratching the surface of the LibriVox platform and sharing our skills, our talents, our fears, and learning from each other.
Really,
it's a wonderful, brand new thing, and I don't want to see it go. If you don't want to do it, maybe somebody else can pick it up.
Well, yeah, that's what he said.
Go ahead.
Do it, really.
It's how can I put that? I've gone through. We have like 7 or 8 sessions now, but no real. How can I put it? Use has popped forward in my mind. Nothing. We've been sharing ideas. Y'all have been coming up with ideas, but really, when you come down to the nitty gritty of producing audio books, where would this be a useful ongoing thing? Am I making sense here?
Well, it makes a difference to me because I spend 80% of my life doing LibriVox stuff and way less time doing things with my family, my friends, my neighbors. Y'all are my family now, and I don't know any of you. And
we love you.
And this helps me to get to know my friends and to, like with Smike over there in Europe, I get to see what she looks like. And to me, this is just, and look, Jen, hey, you. Isn't that cute with the little bow?
I see Jen waving. You got to go, Jen.
I love to put the faces and the personalities to the projects. To me, it's more like real. I mean, we don't have seminars. To me, this makes it personal. It makes it much better than just like next, another next book.
Well,
this
thank
is
you.
personal.
Well, we
I've
are gonna
learned
meet-
a lot.
Maybe
I've learned a
maybe we could
tremendous
try for
amount.
once a month.
say
Maybe
that
every other
we'll-
week.
We're going to meet next week. I mean, next week I have this schedule I've committed, and we'll meet at noon. We'll start talking about BCN again.
And why don't we talk about what to do with future Zoom sessions and what it means to people?
I would love to have that as a topic.
Let
How
that be a topic.
would this be carried on? Maybe
I mean, I'd
we
like
could
to see
have.
some more MCs here.
You could host
I
it,
want to see
Michelle.
Anne. I want to see Avi. I want to see all these people I
Well, the
work
point
with
is-
all the time.
But they're in Europe. I mean, if I was in Germany,
No, we meet at midnight. Yes, I would love to.
that's the point.
I would love
7
to
PM here.
different people to host the sessions.
Well, thank you. We have a skeleton, by the way. We have the skeleton. We have an announcement thread in our LibriVox forum that's set up now. It's a sticky, and then we have a discussion thread. Those two things, I call that. We can hang on any future developments. Anybody else that would like to host, have
Yeah,
a great
Kevin.
idea. It's already set up there. And I'm encouraged anybody. I'd love to. I'll come. Anybody host it, I'll come. But
You just don't want to host it anymore.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm whatever. So next Sunday, we're going too long now. We're already at 1:10. I want to thank everybody that shared. I know that our guest had to go. I learned a lot about the app, and
I
we
did
learned
too.
a little bit about BCing. And I want to thank you all for coming. Any last comments to anybody?
Thank you, Phil.
Adrian, you got a point. You
I've-
wore a hat.
Thank
I've
you.
learned a lot
Fill
about
up,
LibriVox
fill up,
the past couple weeks.
fill up.
Shut up. Rich is trying to say something. No, he's said everything. Bill.
What?
Okay. In that case, I want to thank y'all. You're all a member of my family, and I love everybody. And I'll see y'all next Sunday, 1 week from today. Same bat channel, same bat time. If y'all remember that, you're old. Okay. Bye-bye, folks.
Bye.
Oh, Betty.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, this will be recorded. Y'all get it. Okay. Let me see. How do I end this?
Press leave, I guess.
Leave.